What is up, team, and welcome back to yet another episode of some fun indoor SUP training. And today we're going to be focusing on paddling at a cadency of 50 strokes per minute while also focusing on our breathing technique. Now, when it comes to paddling cadency, the more strokes we can get in per minute at an efficient rate will allow us to travel faster on the water. Now, this will definitely change with terms of the amount of distance you're paddling on the water. For example, if you're paddling a 5K, you will have a higher stroke rate efficiency rate versus paddling at a distance of 10K. Because when you're paddling at a higher stroke rate, your heart rate is going to be higher. So therefore, you can only maintain a higher heart rate for a certain amount of time. But for example, for like a 10K distance race, when you're paddling at a threshold rate for that 1 hour mark, you're going to maintain a stroke rate that kind of keeps your heart rate in that range. Or if you're doing a sprint race, you can also do an even higher stroke rate because you're not paddling very far. So therefore, you can take your heart rate pretty high up there with paddling really fast strokes per minute while getting a higher speed in the water, but then you're only doing that for a short amount of time. So all that to say is that each person is going to have a unique stroke rate when it comes to certain distances while paddling on the water. But with that being said, if you can improve your stroke rate efficiency and get better at paddling at a higher stroke rate that still gets quality strokes in while paddling for a longer distance on the water, the faster times you're going to see in your race times. So today we're going to focus on paddling at a rate of 50 strokes per minute while maintaining still a lower heart rate and really focusing on our paddling efficiency and form in this stroke rate. That way, when we start training on the water where we require more force and more effort, we can then utilize the training we did today on our form and technique and efficiency to help us train our heart rate in those hard conditions to get better at that, but knowing we still have good form when we're training our heart rate in the harder conditions. So, with all that being said, let's get things set up and today's training session underway. Alright, the setup for today's indoor SUP session is going to be using the red 30-pound weighted band for the top anchor point. And then for the lower anchor point, we're going to be using the lighter 10-pound band, which is the yellow band to your indoor SUP setup. So when you get those two bands set up on your door frame, we're going to set up into our SUP stance here. And we're doing a full paddle stroke for the entirety of today's training session. So we'll be doing this session for 20 minutes today, and the whole session will be focused on that 50 strokes per minute. Getting our bodies used to the movement of moving at that rate of 50 strokes per minute while doing a quality and efficient paddle stroke during this whole session today. So with that being said, get your stuff set up for today's training session. Let's get this started right away. All right, here we go. Now for these first few reps, or first few minutes, might take you a little bit. Get your body warmed up here and into your rhythm of your paddle stroke at this higher cadency now of 50 strokes per minute. So we do a lot of these training sessions at a lower stroke rate of usually 40 strokes per minute, allowing us to take our time and really focus on the different aspects of our SUP stroke. Today's focus, as I said, on this higher cadency, getting used to our body, or getting our body used to this higher rhythm rate of 50 strokes per minute. Let's take the next few minutes now, get our body warmed up, and make sure you're having quality strokes. So with that, make sure you're in a good SUP stance with your feet, shoulder width apart, toes pointing forward, knees slightly bent, a ski boot stance. Then hinging down onto your paddle shaft, gauging those shoulder muscles, applying downward force, hinging forward, using that bottom arm to guide yourself to that shaft with every stroke you take. So if you're noticing a part of your stroke is feeling off today, or maybe you want to adjust part of it, Do that piece by piece. Don't just change your full paddle stroke in one setting, but rather just one thing at a time. For example, if you want to adjust where your top arm is, adding more bend to your elbow, or straightening it out a little bit more for better downward force, do that and then keep the rest of your stroke the same. Then as you find that sweet spot for your top arm, adjust the next thing. Where your hips at. Like keeping the weight evenly across your feet, or your hips too far to one side, causing your body weight to be off-centered. So focus on those key details right now so get warmed up today. Now, a key part of today's workout is also make sure we're still keeping our heart rate low. And the biggest way to do that is focusing on your breath. Make sure you're getting good breaths in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Or if you can, in through the nose and out through your nose. Keeping a good pull of oxygen into our bodies and keeping our heart rate low. Alright, by now your body should be a little more warmed up and loosened up. And just feeling the rhythm right now of the beat. Stay focused on that today and create that memory in your muscles of a stroke, 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 stroke. It's faster stroke rate. So you get on the water and you're ready to increase your stroke rate to 50 strokes. Your body just knows how to click into it, engage that gear, and be present in that gear. As you continue to progress as a paddler and get more used to paddling different stroke rates, you can increase the time you do this workout. So today we're only doing 20 minutes, but you can increase it in the future to 40 minutes or even an hour session. So you can continue to build upon your efficiency paddling at this stroke rate. As well as this workout, that's also a great way to condition your heart in this lower zone. This is the biggest problem with doing SUP workouts on the water, or even technique workouts on the water, is that it requires more force and effort as we paddle on the water. So because of that, the vast majority of our workouts in the water are in the higher heart rate zones, which are also needed at times for training, but we're missing out on the incredible and crucial base benefit of conditioning our body in the lower heart rate zones. Because by having an incredibly solid base to work from, you will become even more efficient at the higher heart rate zones and become even faster paddler. So it's crazy to think that by paddling easier, you're becoming faster. So I don't know about you, but I like that. Or I can take time, like today's session, really focus and know that even though I'm not gasping for breath right now in a higher heart rate zone, I'm still becoming even better paddler right now in this lower heart rate zone. That's why I'm not always using the heavier weighted bench for these workouts, because that's not my goal for these workouts. My goal is not just to get a intense cardio workout for these sessions. My goal is form, technique, and efficiency. And with that, the base level training. So keep that in mind as you do these training sessions. Keep the heart rate low and become efficient. All right, we are halfway there. Crazy, right? Already there. Let's bring it on home. All right, how you feeling right now? Hope you're feeling good. How's your form looking? You're feeling engaged for each stroke? Feeling your body evenly across your feet right now? How are you feeling overall? Feeling off any of those areas? Make the adjustments you need to. Get back in the zone. If you need to, simply close your eyes to allow yourself to be more present in this moment. One of the best things about indoor SUP training is you don't have to see where you're going. Close those eyes and just be present. How often do you get to do that in your day? Probably not much. So take this time to capitalize on that and be present. All right, we are just under 5 minutes now. Keep up the good work. So you're starting to feel a little tired right now, maybe a little distracted mentally. Remind yourself of why you're here right now. What is your goal for this paddle session? What's your goal for this month? What's your goal for this year? Remind yourself of the reasons of why you're here right now. Focus on that. Be energized by that and get after it. Let's finish up these last 2 minutes. Last minute. Here we go. Let's go. Nice work, guys. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that workout today. I would love to hear how it went for you in the comments down below, as well as any workouts you want to see in the future. That's it for today's training session though. Way to stick at it, put in the time and effort, become a better paddler. I'll catch you guys in the next one.